Good morning. It's me, Sarah McCord. I'm going live again because I guess it's becoming a thing. I'm like getting totally confident doing the Wet Stuff podcast. You see my face a lot. Anybody who Zooms with me like 1,000 times a week sees my face a lot. So I figured, why not the whole world? What the heck? So I'm engaging what I have come to call productive procrastination. Like we've been talking about in the Wet Stuff podcast on Mid-Morning Monday Musings, which is 10:30 Western Standard Time, we go live, or you can check us out on the Wet Stuff podcast, Facebook, and like everywhere else. We creatives are just totally crazy, totally busy, always doing something, and it's kind of hard for me to relax. So I've come up with productive procrastination. Like, I do need to take a break. I need to chill between projects, and yet I can't really justify just sitting there, and I can't really do that. It's not in my nature. So one thing I do is this. Hang out with you. I'm an extroverted painter. It's kind of a weird thing. So I kind of got to hang out with people anyway. So here we go. So while I'm here, I'll just show you a little bit of my environment here. This is a mural. Whoa. Yeah, camera skills will improve at some point. Gosh dang. Okay. Bathroom door mural. Yeah, that's a thing. That's something I do. It's behind me. Anyway, what I'm going to talk about today is artist self-care. I just got finished eating the most delicious cauliflower steak, sauteed cauliflower steak, smothered in a creamy mushroom sauce with a side of sauteed cauliflower greens. It was delicious. I'm talking about umami up the wazoo or something. Well, not really. It was actually down the other end, but anyways, like, I totally enjoyed it. I cooked it. I'm the chef. And it's like one of the best meals I ever had. So I have to apologize to all my vegan friends, but why are you so angry? Like, that was so delicious. Like, you shouldn't be mad. Like, that was a great, great meal. But the point I'm bringing up about that is that you got to take care of yourself as an artist. I have been so blessed this last year. I've been totally enjoying a lot of 2020, like not all of 2020. Was set to enjoy 2021, and I know some people are trying to mess with that, but I'm going to stay strong. And taking that time to make a delicious meal at home is like one of the coolest things about staying home and working from home. So whether you're an artist or creative and you're doing that anyway, or you've been forced into that, it is so worth it. Like right now I've been doing kind of a fasting thing. It's part of my morning routine, which I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. But it's kind of just easier not to eat in the morning, and apparently it's like a health thing. So hey, I'm doing that. But then taking that time to make a really good midday meal is such an awesome form of self-care, and being able to eat something healthy. And hey, I went vegan today, and it was awesome. All those cooking shows are finally paying off, like watching how other people do it. So that's a thing. But how did I come up with my morning routine? Well, first of all, it's been in progress for years. That's one thing that I talked about on Mid-Morning Monday Musings. Morgan Farley, one of my co-hosts, was asking, like, what is wrong with you and Katie? Like, why do you get up so early? And that's just a practice that I've honed over years, and I just realized I'm a better person if I do that. I enjoy some time by myself, and that's the way to get it. So I get up real early, 5:30 in the morning. I do some journaling. There's a book called The Artist's Way. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. I've never finished reading it. And the reason is I only got to the chapter where it talks about doing these things called morning pages, and I just never advanced beyond that point. But morning pages are so helpful. If you never do anything but that, it can totally improve your creative and psychological life. It's basically just writing 3 pages stream of consciousness every day. Then I take some time to meditate, get inspired, stretch, or foam roll. Then I do some exercise. Today, part of the reason I'm so pumped is I got to take a hike with a friend of mine. I hadn't seen him in like 4 years, another artist and creative. So getting out there, fresh air, and creative conversation, it was awesome. Hopefully you'll get to see him on the Wet Stuff podcast. I'll try to fix that. Coming up is Vincent Chavez. He's another awesome creative, and we got to hang out this morning. And so, getting to do that, getting through my whole routine, and then cleaning up the kitchen. I leave the dishes for the morning, so it's just kind of a ritual. And then typically, I head to the studio and try to paint uninterrupted for several hours. But I'm also learning to batch stuff. Like, a lot of being an artist, like we talk about in the show, is not just painting. It would be cool if it was. But we have to schedule social media posts. We have to pay our taxes. We have to get creative about how we're going to sell more stuff. And we have to collaborate with people. We have to keep it fresh. So I'm starting to dedicate Mondays because they're already kind of a butchered up day. Like for me, like I have other appointments and stuff that suck up my time and break up my day to where I can't really focus on painting. So that's going to become my like office day. So I'm doing that anyway. So that's Mondays. But other days I'm trying to stick to that routine and keeping that sacred routine, which actually the word routine sucks. I don't even like that. Because as a creative, I've really struggled between that structure and that creativity. I do better with structure, but I kind of hate it. It's not in my nature, so it's always been a battle. But what I've changed recently is actually calling it ritual and putting that like spiritual woo-woo rest and exercise and all that first. And I find that if I take care of myself, first of all, it takes till 10 or 10:30 in the morning. Like, that seems like a huge waste of time. That seems like, oh, the day's already begun and I don't start work until 10 a.m. Like, that's ridiculous. But if you need to do all the stuff that you need to do as a human being, like all the recommendations, like sleeping, eating, hydrating, start my day with a healthy cup of tea, exercise, some kind of mindfulness practice, like it takes till 10:30. Like, that's what it takes. We can't live in this crazy consumerist, capitalist, whatever society that we've constructed, be these constant producers, automaton robots, and do all the healthy stuff that everybody is shouting at us to do all the time. It's not compatible. So you kind of got to do it. You got to establish some boundaries. So I've discovered that if I do that, I'm way more productive and I'm happier. So happier. Like I struggle with depression and stuff, and I've really been not lately. And I think a lot of it has to do with just taking care of my own needs first before I dive into anything else. Same thing with painting and creativity. I can take all manner of BS, and I have had to take all manner of BS, like everybody, right? For years. But I find that if I paint first, or I put my creativity first, I put myself first, then I can tolerate a whole lot of stuff, like without getting so mad, without getting so stressed and so angry. So that's just some thoughts, I would recommend thinking about it. I stumbled across another artist that was talking about her morning ritual. She's so way cooler than me, more beautiful, young, spirited, spiritual, way better like filming abilities. Talking about her thing, makes my life look lame. But it was inspiring. And it turns out, if you do a little YouTube search, there are tons of artists willing to talk about their morning routines, their creative routines, for even evening routines. So there's lots of inspiration around there to kind of look at those creative rituals. So it doesn't have to be a drag, a to-do list. This is what you should be doing. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today. Enough procrastination. Gotta go back to work. I got a project I'm doing. So see you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good day.